King Midas. Midas was king of Phrygia. He was the son of Gordius. Midas, like his father, was a good king, but he was not as smart as his father. His biggest fault was that he often spoke too quickly and without thinking. Midas was very fond of gardening. One day, among the bushes of his rose garden, he found a strange creature passed out from drinking too much wine. This creature was a satyr, half goat and half man. Midas recognized this satyr as Silenus. Silenus had acted as a father to Dionysus, the god of wine. Dionysus's real father was Zeus. A jealous Hera had caused the death of Dionysus's mother, so Zeus gave the infant Dionysus to the care of Silenus and other satyrs and river nymphs. When Midas realized who this satyr was, he entertained him with great hospitality. For 10 days and nights, Midas treated Silenus to great feasts of fruits, meats, and bread, always with plenty of wine. On the 11th day, Midas's servants brought word of the location of Dionysus's camp. He brought Silenus to Dionysus and restored him in safety to the god's care. Dionysus was impressed with Midas's actions. He offered Midas his choice of a reward, whatever he might wish. Without thinking, Midas immediately asked that whatever he might touch would change into gold. Dionysus agreed, but told Midas that it was a bad choice. Midas did not understand the god's warning and happily left Dionysus's camp. On his way home, Midas could not wait to put his new ability to the test. He could hardly believe his eyes when he pulled an oak twig off a tree and it became gold in his hand. He picked an apple from a tree and it became a perfect golden apple. In Midas's eyes, it was the most beautiful thing he had ever seen. The king was overcome with joy. As soon as he got home, he ordered his servants to prepare a splendid feast. He sat down at his table to eat with his daughter. To his horror, he soon discovered that he could not eat anything. Whatever he picked up turned to gold. In a panic, Midas almost fell down, and his daughter tried to help her father. As soon as she touched his arm, she became a golden statue. To Midas, this was not beautiful anymore. In a second, he hated this new gift of his. He hated himself for speaking so foolishly. He realized that he would die of starvation and loneliness. Quickly he called to his servants and rushed out the door back to the camp of Dionysus. Midas arrived in the god's camp, relieved to find it still there. He begged Dionysus to remove the gift he had given, the gift that had become a curse. Dionysus smiled and said, "Go to the river Pactolus. Find the spring that is its source. Wash your body in this spring. Wash away your greed and your punishment. Then go home and find your daughter restored to flesh and bone." Midas did so. As soon as he touched the waters, the gold-creating power passed into them. The sand on the banks of this river became gold. This river passed through the land of Lydia. The Lydians became so rich from mining this gold that they invented gold coins to use as money. Afterward, Midas hated wealth and luxury. He took his family to live in the country, and he became a worshipper of Pan, the god of nature. Pan was an excellent player of his reed pipes. He played so well that he decided to challenge Apollo to a musical contest. Apollo accepted the challenge, and he and Pan chose Timolus, a nearby mountain god, to be the judge. Timolus cleared away the trees from his ears to listen, and the contest began. Pan blew on his pipes first, and with his charming melody gave great satisfaction to himself and his faithful follower, Midas, who happened to be present. Then Timolus turned his head toward the sun god, and all his trees turned with him. Apollo rose with his laurel crown on his head. In his left hand he held a lyre, and with his right hand he struck the strings. So beautiful was the harmony that burst forth that Timolus immediately awarded victory to the god of the lyre. Everyone but Midas agreed with the judgment. Without even considering his place, Midas questioned Timalus's decision. Apollo replied that Midas's ears were so depraved that they did not deserve to have human form. Suddenly, Midas felt his ears grow in length and become hairy. He realized that he could also move them in any direction. They had become a perfect pair of donkey ears. King Midas was horrified at this. Then he thought that it would be possible to hide his ears. From then on, Midas wore a large turban wrapped tightly around his head. No one discovered his secret, except, of course, his barber. Midas warned this servant never to tell anyone, but the hairdresser found the situation so funny he could not contain himself. One night he went into a meadow by himself. He dug a hole in the ground and whispered the story into this hole. When he finished, he covered the hole up. Before long, a thick bed of reeds grew up in that very spot. As soon as the reeds were tall enough to bend in the wind, they began to whisper the story of Midas's donkey ears. They still whisper this story every time a breeze passes over them.